Boom. Now we're podcasting.
Oh, are we?
This is all it is. This is where we've already started. I don't like to do the phones on silent.
Are we live podcasting?
This is live.
Oh, okay.
The camera's recording. The lights are on. The mics are on.
Yeah.
I know a lot of podcasts, they start off like, welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Keener podcast. That's just not my style.
Yeah.
I'd rather just let the viewer click play.
Yeah.
And just get right into
it. The real.
The real,
right? The real.
authentic.
It's better for me, right? So.
What are you going to do for yours? Because you're shooting your first podcast today.
I am. And this is not my comfort zone to be in front of the camera. So.
You just got to pretend it's not even there.
I know. And I love to talk, right?
So it's going to be good. I think this is going to be a good format for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you forget about the camera?
Yeah.
And we're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
I think it might be a good. But yeah, what do you think you're going to do? Are you going to do an intro?
I don't know.
Hi, Jenny. My name's Jenny.
Yeah.
Welcome
possibly.
Back.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably no, because I think you could do an intro. Can you do an intro before?
Oh,
like a lead-in intro, and then you just go right into your.
Do you watch?
I think I should do an introduction though.
For sure. For what because you're more like.
More professional. Like, who am I? Why do you want to listen to me?
Yep.
How do I have expertise in what I'm talking about? And then typically I'll probably be interviewing like parents and like what's their story, what's their background. Today I have like someone that's coming in that has a foundation. So like kind of bringing awareness to her stuff. So like.
Yep. Cross promotion.
So I'll probably do like a gentle intro, not like super.
I think you should.
Stuffy. Yeah.
I think you should. Because a lot of the finance and investing podcasts I listen to, now that I'm thinking about it, they start off like why you should listen to them. Like, my portfolio is this amount of money. I've done this, this, and this. And you're like, oh, I'm going to listen and learn.
Yeah.
So you should do the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
18 years.
Kind of my credentials, but then just get into the talking.
Get right into it. Or now I'm thinking too, there's so many different ways you can go about it.
Yeah.
Intro, logo, and then maybe you can do like an intro of the guest.
Yeah.
Which I failed to do. I didn't even do that. Like, I don't.
No.
You
I'm a no one right now. There's a person. We're right behind the ReImagined OT.
I know. I mean, how much more promotion do you want, Jenny? We're at your office.
Yeah.
At your business here in Florida, which is super nice. And I'm thankful to even be getting off the plane yesterday. It was such a noticeable difference. Like my mood and everything just changed.
Oh yeah. Like the sunshine, and even it's cold right now, right? But
for you, but like I'm in shorts, it's nice.
Yeah, it's still like relatively warm compared to Michigan, right? Like
100%. We left Michigan, it was like 8-9 inches of snow, which for me, like Becca's like, oh, this is the time to get out of here. But I like snowboarding, I like winter sports. So like I'm like, no, this is the bad time to leave. This is when I want to be in Michigan. Yeah. So, but
except for that snowstorm, I don't think you're going to get anywhere on the road.
No.
With that.
And I got shitty car tires too.
Yeah.
So, but no, we're here in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
Home.
Tampa-ish, right?
Tampa. What would you call it? Largo?
So this is Largo. So we're by Indian Rocks Beach. So Clearwater Beach area. So we're like 15 miles kind of south of there. But yeah, Tampa's like the major hub. So I say we're Tampa Bay area.
Tampa Bay area.
But it's probably like a 45-minute drive to get to Tampa from here. But
most people would recognize it as Clearwater or Largo.
This is Largo, but like the town, like where I actually live is Indian Rocks Beach.
Gotcha. Across that bridge.
Yeah. Across the bridge is Indian Rocks Beach, and then you have like Madeira Beach, you have Reddington Shores, and then you have St. Pete Beach. So it's like a cool area.
Have you been to St. Pete Beach?
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Yeah, like I'll just like beach hop a lot of the times too.
Really?
Yeah, because you got to go, you get like different vibes, right? So like if you want, that's why I love living here. So I came like from living in West Michigan, you're kind of like, okay, you got to go to the same bars, same restaurants. Wintertime, you can, like you said, you can do outdoor stuff, or you're just like sit in the house, have people over, right? And here it's like a multitude of things to do. So I live on the beach, right? So I'm more like beach vibes, but at times I'm like, okay, I want to go into a city. So Tampa's about a 45-minute drive, so different vibe.
Right, city vibe.
City vibe. And then you got your professional sports team. So we do like a lot of like, football games. Haven't been to a Lightning game yet, but those are supposed to be super fun.
Tampa Lightning.
Yeah, so we do that.
Do they have soccer?
They have the Rays. They do.
They do have soccer.
Yeah, they have the Rowdies.
That's underrated. I know even if people don't like soccer, it's an underrated like live sporting event to go to.
And Rowdies is cool. Like we've been there with the boys. So Rowdies School had something there, but it's cool. It's like right downtown St. Pete, and it overlooks the water. So the stadium's really cool. Yeah. I don't know if they're professional or semi-professional. I'm not really like a soccer follower, but
yeah. They're probably like a semi. Soccer's weird. You have to like, everybody's like a professional, but you have to like win a certain amount of games to get into the professional league.
So it's like hockey kind of?
Kind of. But in soccer, if you lose a certain amount of games, you get out of the league. They put you out of the league.
Oh, so the whole team.
The whole team. Oh. And another team from somewhere else that did well will take your position in the league.
Okay.
So it's like if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't do good, they lost all their games, they would no longer be an NFL team.
Yeah.
Somebody else would come and replace them.
Okay.
So it's like interesting.
You got to perform
all the time.
Yeah. 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 So we went to one of those. Those are cool. And then we were down by like the thing where the guys walk by. So my kids thought it was super cool. They have no clue.
Out of the tunnel thing.
They're not soccer kids, but they're like, oh, that was so cool. It was like a professional sports player. So yeah, so there's a lot of cool things. So you can do that. And then you can go, St. Pete is also a different vibe too.
Love St. Pete.
Because you're by the water. And then you have like your bar, restaurant district, a little bit more like, I don't know, it's just got eclectic vibe, I guess you would say. Ritzy? You can do both.
What is eclectic? What is that? What do you mean?
I mean, if you go down to the bar district, like you can go to a country bar, then you can go to a cigar bar. You want to listen to some classical music, I'm sure there's a bar for that.
Everything.
Like, so it's like a strip of like just anything and everything, right?
I really did enjoy it. And there's like that one, you probably seen it. It's like a big ass building, like off of the water kind of. And there's like a restaurant up there.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That thing is sweet. Yeah. We went up there and ate up there one time.
Yeah, and they have that little beach and park area and the boats and stuff. So yeah, I like St. Pete a lot too. So you got that. That's not super far away either. So it's just a different, there's so many different vibes. And then there's like trails, tons of like trails that you can do bikes, rollerblading.
How long have you guys been here?
2.5 years.
That's it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I feel like I've lived here a lot longer.
I have too. Because when Becca first started coming down to babysit, I feel like that was more than 2 years ago, but it wasn't.
Well, the crazy part is like, I just think of all that we've accomplished in life here. Like, I'm like, we like settled in, like started a business. My business is like, we're on the second building. I'm like, how the hell does that happen, right? My kids have like a good groups of friends. Like, Brody's on a second school. You know what I mean? So there's just
2
like,
years.
But you think about it as like, yeah, we're so connected. Like we have a great community down here. I do have family down here, but my community was like found just through like, I don't know. My kids we just like did it, right? We're just like, okay, we're doing this, and like it kind of like fell into place for us. And I don't think that happens for everybody, but definitely like, you know, you gotta take that risk sometimes, because I feel like I couldn't imagine my life if I didn't do it.
Really?
You know what I mean?
2 years, like, can you imagine? What would you be doing in 2 years if you were still in West Michigan?
So if you know anybody that would be interested or that would be a good guest for the podcast show, please get us in contact, put us together, or just relay them my information. I would love to sit down and talk to them. And with that, I will continue to do my best to improve my podcasting skills and my interviewing skills to one day bring on bigger guests that you would love to see me collab with.
Probably the same thing I was doing 2 years ago.
Oh.
Not much different, because I don't know opportunity-wise. It's like a different lifestyle down here, right?
You think the kids would be as happy?
I don't know. I don't think so, no. I think just like with the stuff they went through in their life, like losing their dad and like just some of the different like bad memories in that town would be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so though. That was like one of my biggest reasons for moving too. I was like, I just knew they would be more predisposed to like for depression, stuff like that with everything they went through. So I was like, why not be where you can like have sunshine and like activities and like, I don't know. Not saying that was the only reason I moved, but it was like a big thing even for me. I know how much happier I am down here, and you can be outside all the time and
just staying active and keep your mind from wondering and like, what if this, or all those thoughts. It's easy to get sucked into those thoughts of like, what if or is.
Yeah.
But when you live here and there's so many things you can do, I think that's probably, hearing you say that is probably why I don't appreciate Michigan as much as I did when I was in Colorado. Because you walk outside and it's like, oh, there's so many options to do, and your mind's not worried about the bills or all those little problems.
I think that's the thing too. It's like the lifestyle, right? So I think in West Michigan, you're like, there's not a lot to do. You know what I mean? Like you can go outside and like, you can go for a walk, you can do that, but it's gloomy a lot of the times. It's cold.
Yeah.
I think also like growing up there, you just get caught in this monotony of life of like, this is how you do it. You get married at this time, have kids at this time, do this, do that.
Which is true.
And it's like, then you like, work environment up there is different, right? Like it's real like high pressure, blah, blah, blah. You get down here and it is like so many entrepreneurs and visionary people with tons of vision and connection. Like people have, it's like a melting pot, right? So when I came here, it was weird because up there, everybody's like, oh, if you move the kids to school, they're gonna like die, right? Like,
yes, dude, it's
God forbid you do that. They're gonna like lose their shit if you move their school, right? And I got down here and I was like, geez, these kids are like school hopping like crazy. Like this parent's bringing this kid here, and then the kids are all like, yeah, I'm gonna go here in high school.
Yeah.
So the school system's set up different, you know. So depending where you live, a lot of people do private school or they'll do elementary school publicly, and then in middle school and high school, they do the private. So you see kids hopping around. So my kids weren't the only new kids, right? Which is super cool. And they both make friends easily and they're very social, thank goodness. But it was like, oh, this is really cool. It's different, right? And people like don't really care. Like
it's for
they want to meet you, right? They don't care about like, oh, what happened? Like so-and-so, blah, 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 you know what I mean? And I think that was like huge for us too, is just like having to relive a lot of like traumatic things that happened. It was just like, my kids shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like that's not their kids. Like, or just even looking at it, it's like, yeah, that happened to you. And like, that's unfortunate, but like, that's not, it doesn't define who you are. It doesn't define your life, right? Like,
and as they get older too, they'll understand that it's really not to like, I don't want it to sound weird or bad, but like, it's just part of their story. It's going to be just part of their story.
It's part of their story, yeah. And I don't think I've ever seen my kids like, oh, my dad died. You know, like actually a lot of times they don't want people to know. And then when people know, like even Beckham's like a lot more open. And then it was cool because at his school, one of his teachers and the youth pastor both had lost their dads at the same age he lost his dad. And I was like, if that's not like a God thing, I was like, that's freaking cool. And he told me he didn't want to talk about it or tell anybody. And it, like, I'm friends with a lot of his friends' moms, and they were like, oh, I guess Beckham, like, solely was telling them, but didn't want to talk about it, which is fine. I get that. And one day he came from school, and he's like, Mom, he's like, I was telling me about one of his favorite teachers, and she kind of gave her testimony, and he's like, so I raised my hand, and I was like, that happened to me, too. So I was like,
it's getting more comfortable.
It's cool, though, because he can use that to help other kids, and and it was cool. Like, I just look at other things and the way he deals with stuff is like, he's a really strong kid. And he can kind of, I see that when his friends are going through stuff, like he'll kind of talk to me about it. But it's like he's got a more mature way to be there for his friends, which is kind of cool.
We've been through some shit.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
But there's no victim mentality there either, which is a beautiful thing because I'm like not about that. It's like, like life happens, like people lose. I mean, it happens to more people than you know. But I think where we lived, I remember that was a big thing that bothered him. And then being down here, it was like all of a sudden he had other people that he knew were like, oh, they lost their dad, and it's just like, okay, I'm not alone. Like and we always talked about, you know, people lose people. Some kids lose a mom and a dad. I think in my career, I've seen kids have a brain injury that I worked with, and then their mom and dad died in a car accident. You know what I mean? So I've seen that, like you see that, and you realize, unfortunately, it happens more than we would like it to, but it happens, you know, so.
And not to be morbid, but there's a stat that I always keep in my head. 1 million people die every week.
Yeah.
1 million people.
Yeah. And death is like, I'm not scared of death, right? Like death it's part of the life cycle, right? You're going to a better place, right? Like we get to enjoy this, but this is like heaven's so much better, right? So, you know, so I don't know. Yeah. So like, I feel like, I don't know if I'm desensitized to death now, but I'm just like, when people die, it's like it's sad. Like you miss them, you whatever. And I could be a little desensitized, but I think I look at it differently of like, I don't know. It's just a different mindset, right?
I tried to reframe my mindset too, because my grandma just passed away like 2 weeks ago, and she was older. She had like a long. It's different, like if they had like a long life and they died because of like old age.
Yeah,
When it's like an abrupt thing, I understand that's maybe a little bit more traumatic. But like she was old. She has like, I don't know, 20 grandkids, 6 kids. Everybody's doing well, so she probably had a good life. So like when that time came. My wife was more sad than I was. I was like more like, it's a beautiful thing. Like, I try to reframe my mind.
She had a beautiful life.
She did. And that's how I try to tell myself. And I forgot who was talking about this that helped me reframe my mindset on it. But once I started doing that, and the guy was like saying like, oh, if you can do that, then you can be like the strong person in your family when nobody can handle the situation.
Yeah.
So like my mom was up there a lot, and she would always call me, and I would just keep light of the moment, like, you know, she's probably doing good. She's hanging out. She was a big casino lady, so I'm just telling her, like, she probably just wants to go to the casino right now. She's like at the casino.
She's playing those slot machines.
Yes, exactly.
She's winning that $1 million this time, right?
But just trying to reframe that whole thing as like, it's part of the life cycle. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. And you just kind of got to keep moving forward.
I lost like 3 of my grandparents when I was young, and I was like terrified of death. I remember because I remember going to the funeral home, and I have a very over-analytical brain, and I also think like have a big imagination. So when I was super young and you don't really understand death yet, I would have nightmares literally of like my grandparents coming out of the coffin and chasing me. Wow. And I still like remember that, like hating going. I'm like, oh, we have to get up and go there in the morning, right? And sit at that funeral home. People, you know, they did back then. I feel like they did visitations like 2 days in a row, and then you had the funeral, and it was like sad and depressing. And then everybody's coming in, and then my grandpa. I was really close to my grandpa growing up. He was my only grandparent that lived into my adult life, and he was 95. And I would go over there.
Which is amazing. Like 95 is amazing. Yeah, especially at that time.
Like, he lived a good life. Yeah. And then he would I would go over there like once a week, and we'd do dinner, and he would like reminisce about his life, and it was like the coolest experience. Like I loved spending that time with him. So when he was dying too, it was a different experience, because here I was an adult. I was close with him. I was an adult, so I understood like he's gonna die at some point. It's not like I was a 5-year-old child. Like they're dead, and you have to look at them that's creepy to me. It's still creepy to me. Like, and then I saw like the beauty of it. Like it's like every day I would go over there when he was dying, and he went home to hospice, and it was like 2 weeks, and I would go over there every day after work, and I would remember just like being with him, and you slowly saw him like deteriorate, and then like, but they're like, oh, he can still hear you, and it was like just peaceful. So
what age were you around that?
I was 28.
Okay,
I think 20. It was right before I found out I was pregnant. With Beckham. So I remember that too. And then it was just like, then when I heard you knew he was going to pass, but it was just a different, you're sad, you miss him, but I'm not like, awesome. Like he wanted to go at that point. Like he had lost my grandma way before then. And he told me, he's like, I was able to see all you girls grow up. Like he felt so thankful that he made it that far.
Exactly.
And he could tell his body was deteriorating. He still lived independently until the last 2 weeks of his life, and then he just had hospice in the house. But so I think, I think it reframed my thought on death too. Yeah, obviously it's hard to lose people and you miss them and whatnot, but it's part of, I don't know.
I used to be scared of death too, and then something happened where I was like, maybe it was like a few near-death experiences that I had that we probably shouldn't get into because my parents watched these.
You defied death. You're like, I saw that light one of those times.
A few times, actually. One time.
Did you actually see the light? Or they say people do that too.
I don't think I was that far yet, because I was just trying to like figure out. One of the times I was snowboarding, and it was a heavy snow day, and I fell next to a tree. Oh. I don't know if you heard like a tree wells, but like there's like a pocket. I don't know the science behind it, but like there's a tree, and at the base of the tree, like the snow goes around the tree. So there's like a pocket. Yeah. And I fell in the pocket, and snow got in my mouth, and I could not breathe.
Oh, really?
And they always say like avalanches, and like there's training for it. And you don't experience how fast your air goes away when your mouth is full of snow and you can't breathe. Yeah. Oh my God.
So what happened?
Panic set in, and I just started crawling out, but I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
And I finally got out, and I got the snow out of my mouth, and it like got in your throat, and it burned so bad. I don't know why it was, but I was like sitting on that hill like, yo, looking around, like I'm the only one out here.
Yeah.
That could have been bad.
Yeah. So you didn't have any like crazy moment?
I did, but maybe we could talk about those off camera a little bit more. But I forgot what happened, and then one day I was just like, if it happens, the only thing that I would be sad about if I were to like die tonight is just all the shit that I want to do that
you didn't do.
That I didn't do.
Yeah, that's what I always say. I never regret. I always regret things I didn't do, right?
Exactly.
Like crazy stuff. Like, I don't know. I think I like adventure, and I've always been like, oh, live life to the fullest. But I didn't really grow up that way. So like, I was always like dulled. Everything I wanted to do, I was just like, can't do that, can't do that, But it was who I was, right? So like, I remember going away to college my freshman year. I was like, peace out. Like oh my God, I had the best time. Western Michigan.
Okay.
But I wanted to go out of state. I wanted to go to like Florida or California. And I just like, I think I just like the freedom and just like, let me be me. And I'm kind of a risk taker. I'm kind of like adventure seeking, but I always kind of held back a little bit because I always had that fear of like, what my parents said or, whatever. But it's funny. Good. It's funny because I look at my kids, and my kids are they're adventure seeking, but they are definitely way more reserved. And their dad was way crazy adventure seeking, right? So I just look at them and I'm like, that's just who they are born to be, right? Yeah. Like that's just who they are. And I think, the way I parent them is a little different too, because I always try to foster who they are, but because I felt like I was very held back, but same thing, like, how many things did you not do? I remember like my junior year, spring break, we were at the bar in California. I went to like, my friend and I went out to visit her cousin or something because it's all we could afford. And I had a fake ID. I just remember we were like dancing at a table, and someone came up to me and they're like, oh, would you want to be in a reality show? And this is like back in the day where it was like real world road rules. It wasn't
the best ones.
But I still to today, but they wouldn't tell me. And I was like, sure, whatever, gave them my information. They're like, then they asked for my ID. I was like, I'm not really 21. Well, then they probably liked me more. They're like, oh, she's dancing on a table.
She's our kind of girl.
But it was like my wild side, right? Like it was just the part that comes, it's part of who I am, but like, I like to go have a good time once in a while too, but I'm also very like professional and very like career driven and goal oriented. But I need to like do that once in a while just to like, I don't know, it's just who I am.
What happened with that opportunity?
So, well, then they called me and I was like, okay, yeah, we're actually going to LA. They're like, you'll have to, because we were in Santa Barbara, and they're like, you got to go to LA and like meet with someone. So like, we're going to call you to a phone interview. And if you like you can come down to the studio. So I was like, this is just weird because I'm West Michigan, 19 years old. Like, I think I had just gotten into OT school. So like I had my little the perfect little life was happening for me. And I remember, I called them and they interview you, and then they're just like asking you questions about yourself. And they're like, okay. And then they come back, they're like, okay, our producer wants you to come down to an in-person interview. Shit. So I was like, okay. And that was like, let's see if they would have put a camera on me, I probably would have clammed up. This girl ain't fun anymore. But so I didn't end up doing it. And then I remember them calling me because we went down there. I was like, no, that's not safe. Like, I got like that whole like, not safe, shouldn't do it. But like I look back and I'm like, I wish, you never know. I don't think it was meant, and who even knows what show it was. They wouldn't tell you. But then she called me again and was like, hey, and I was back in Michigan by this time. She's like, we're really interested in you being on this show. Like, would you be able to fly back here and do an interview in person? And then I was like, no, I can't. I just got into OT school. Oh. I don't think it was my destiny, but those are the things I'm like, what if I would have gone there?
Right.
It could have ended up being nothing, or I could have got kidnapped. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it would have been an experience.
Yeah. Or you could have been on the next the early Kardashian or something. Yeah. You never know.
I mean, but at least you said yes. And I'm not like, that's the other thing too. I don't like being in front of the camera, right?
Right.
I don't think it's something I ever wanted to do, but it just would have been.
Why do you think that is?
I'm all about experiences.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I have no clue. I just don't like, I don't know. I'm sure I psychoanalyze. I probably have a lot of
Because a lot of people are like that. And then at least from because I work with a lot of people that aren't comfortable on camera, but after a few times, they just like, it just becomes okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay too. Like, I think even me getting in front of the camera for like what I'm going to get in front of the camera for is going to be, it's not about me. It's about bringing awareness to things I'm doing to help kids. And then like, you can reach people more. And then just, I have so much stuff I want to share with people, like, cause I know it will help them. And so I watch other people do it, and I like do it within my, I do it in my community, or I do it with when I have students and whatnot, like, and then I'm like, okay, you can help more people. And I didn't realize when I worked at a hospital for so long, like how my skills were dulled a little bit, because like you have to see 9 kids in a day and whatever. And so when I started this clinic, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like I knew it was going to be good. Like intensive therapy is great, but it's like a whole new thing. And then the more I was doing, the more results I was getting with kids. I was like, I have to like share this. And I have to share my knowledge with other people, other therapists like I just have this, like, I knew it was part of like my purpose here on this earth was like, I have to it's not about you. So I think it will make it easier, because you're like, and I'm so passionate about what I do, right? So
let that be your why. And it's every time you get on camera, it's like, I'm not doing this for myself.
Yeah.
It's for the other people. And I do think too, especially with like, and I could be wrong, but like the world of like people going to college and university is becoming less and less like a thing. So people are now learning more on social media. So there's probably somebody that's like either can't afford school or don't want to go to school, but want to get in this line of work, that they can just learn from your videos, from your YouTube channel instead.
Yeah. And I think that it's an evolving kind of field. I think there's a lot of, so being an occupational therapist, it's like, okay, this is your scope of practice, but there's so much evolving going on. And then there's not enough clinicians. So you see other people from other professions kind of like taking little bits and pieces of therapy and integrating it into their profession, you know what I mean? Which isn't a terrible thing. I think, it gets a little like dicey there, because you're like, people are invading in on what you have like went to school for like 6 years for, and got a master's degree for, and like PT gets a doctorate, right? But also there's such a need, and there's so many kids that aren't getting what they need, and there's so many tools out there. So the more professions that we can get, like coming up with new techniques or whatnot to help these kids, or, I think is really what we should all be thinking about too. Instead of like, oh, they're invading on my territory. They're invading, okay, but how can they're meeting the need of this like growing population and our therapists are like going to become less and less because of schooling costs much. Like you said, not everybody goes to school. Right? I have other opportunity to make money doing something else, right? I don't have to be $100,000 in debt, so.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the, like when you said the people are not using the word stealing, but like taking other techniques and practices, I always think of like the intention. It all starts with like the intention behind it.
Yeah.
Are they intending to like burn your business down, or are they just intending to help out more kids?
More people, yeah.
So it's really about their intentions. But there is some nefarious people out there that you got to watch out for, obviously.
Well, and I think it's like any work field, any profession, it evolves, right? So like if we're stuck in this old school mentality about this person does this and this person does this, and
we're doing that forever.
Like what's going to happen? Nothing's going to change. And I think that's what I saw. Like I've been an OT for over 18 years. So it was this is like stagnant. Like I went to like every course I could, all these extra tools and whatever. And then I got to the point in my career where I was like, okay, like I could think of other things that would help people more, but like what is out there that's more, and all of a sudden there's been a shift, and it's really been after COVID, the big intensive therapy kind of thing started, and people are coming up with new techniques. And then I think there was less regulation on things. I think even the social media world has created like, you can get certified in this and certified in this, and where's the certification coming from? There's not as much policing on what a certification means anymore.
Right. Back in the day, it was like, that certification on the wall was like everything.
Yeah.
Now it's like.
But now it's like, what's wrong with that, right? Because like people are coming up with, like I'm a person, I come up with new ideas and new things, and I know it helps someone. And then like, how do you teach it to someone? You got to like, be like, oh, this is something not everybody's doing. So I guess I'm creating a new technique, and I know it helps people. So why wouldn't you, like, you're helping your profession get along and like evolve, and then you're helping people.
Which is crazy. Like I'm nowhere near that, but you being on like kind of like the frontier of your industry, like making changes and new things. It's kind of crazy.
It's super cool. It's like, oh, but I didn't think, I'm like, why am I here? Right? Like sometimes I'm like, I look and I'm, what the heck is going on?
Right.
But I think, I don't know. It's crazy.
Purpose, life,
man. Like, purpose. I went through some stuff, right? And then I think that's like a God thing. Like God, like if you just listen, I mean, sometimes you can't control your life, right? And all this bad stuff happens. And then for some reason you just feel this like calling, like you should go do this. And then you, for some reason, are put in a situation where like, let's just go, I'm going to go do that. Right. And I look back now when I made a decision to move and all this stuff, and I'm like, that ain't just me. Like that's when I know there was a God, right? Yeah. Like I was like, man, like I would pray about stuff and I would just get peace, or I would get people that would infiltrate into my life that would like guide, like give me that validation.
Like Beckham's
like
teacher kind of thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of like crazy stuff. And I feel like it's really rapidly coming at me right now too, and then sometimes but they say like you'll get attacked by the devil too, right? And I also see that, but I have better discernment now. I had like a zero lick of discernment before because I like wanted to see the good in everybody, whatever. So, but it's cool, right? Like,
like how do you navigate that? You just take it day by day, or?
I don't know, man. You just got the, like, there's something about peace that you get when you like, you're driven by faith. Like your faith is driving your life, and it's not you driving your life anymore. And that was the biggest like wake up call, because I grew up in a family where you can make, I think some people can have a very like, this is what I want to do, and everything falls into place for them. I did not. I did for a long time. And all of a sudden my life like did a whole like what the hell just happened in my life? Like I didn't even, you know what I mean? It was like crazy stuff. Like, like my friends always joke, like you could write a book someday. And I'm like, the stuff that was like happening, and it just kept happening and happening. And I'm like, I've never done anything bad to anybody. Like,
right.
Why me? And the minute you can't always explain it. And then my faith was really developing. I have like two best friends that really were like, all right, come to church with us, whatever. Went to church my whole life, was an altar server, all that, but never had that connection. It was the only thing I had to lean on. I was like, I had great people in my life, but it's like beyond understanding on why such bad things could happen. When you've never done bad or harm or ill to other people, right? But the minute I got the focus off of me, then I said, why not me? And now I realized why I had to go through all that. And then it made it easier. If I didn't go through all that, it wouldn't have been easy to make those decisions to lead me where I'm at now. And I look back and I was like, I was in such a fog. How the hell did I make those decisions? Right. But I will tell you, the only thing I'd say is I pray about it, and I would get the most peace ever, like, this is what you're doing, and like clarity. And I don't think everybody will always have that.
No, definitely not. I think about it all the time.
I love when I see that in people, like you see them go through hard stuff, but you're like, oh dude, you got a bigger purpose, because sometimes you get put through, I listen to a lot of like pastors and stuff, people, and they're like, sometimes you get put through really, really bad, hard times to lead you. And sometimes your purpose is bigger and more than you could ever knew you could handle, but you had to go through that first.
Right.
Because you're going to have some shit when your purpose becomes bigger and you're doing like God's work. It's not like it's all you, right? So I don't know. It's a crazy experience, but it's like,
and I agree. I agree.
Cool.
Because like I've gone through some hard times, and now something happened the other day, and it was like the people around me were like shut, like the world was ending.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude.
Yeah.
I've from personal experience, I know that you can bounce back and recover from that situation. It's not that big.
Yeah.
If you go into those things, definitely helps out. But you're lucky to find like your purpose. I always think all the time, like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? I have those thoughts all the time.
Yeah. And now I can look, okay, so I always like to, because I say too, I think you probably are more in your purpose than you know you are.
I hope so, because.
But do you feel like you're trying to control your purpose? Like
no, not at all.
Conflicting, and I think you kind of live your life like, I'm just going to go live life, which is the best way to do it, right? Like, because I think things will guide you into your purpose further. And sometimes I think we're also searching. Some people like, I feel like what I'm doing is like way bigger than I thought I would never dream to do all the stuff that is coming at me. I didn't know, but it's part of my purpose. It's not like I'm looking for it. It's coming to me.
It came to you.
You start something, and, I was talking to someone today too. They were saying like, I'm going to pray about it. I said, okay, but you got to start the wheels. When you feel a calling, you got to start the wheels turning.
Right.
And you still got to do the work. It's not like, but when you come into these like roads where you have to make a decision, it's like I'll explain it. That's when you pray about it, because you're going to get conflicted, and then you'll try to control it again, and it will not go good.
Right.
Like, that's my experience. But not everybody's going to have the experience I have, right? But I will tell you, it's just the coolest thing. And then when I have those days where I'm like, how the hell I can't handle all this? You know what I mean? Like, I think this is a lot. I'm trying to like, I'm like, I can't do this. And then like, sometimes I like just pray. I was like, good Lord, why'd you pick me?
I know.
And then,
but you have those days.
But then like
you get through it, and then it's like,
and then for some reason, it's like the next day or the next few days, all of a sudden, like all this amazing stuff happens.
Yes.
And I was like, damn, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. You know what I mean?
That happens so maybe like once a month, where I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? Am I biting off too much that I can chew? Then you get through it, and then next week is like, wow, more opportunities, and like you figure out a way to make it happen. But I'll say, I think maybe me and you are similar in that it's like, you just got to say yes to more things.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody that would be interested or that would be a good guest for the podcast show, please get us in contact, put us together, or just relay them my information. I would love to sit down and talk to them. And with that, I will continue to do my best to improve my podcasting skills and my interviewing skills to one day bring on bigger guests that you would love to see me collab with.
Well, I think my biggest thing, because I love to analyze stuff. So I like psychoanalyze myself a lot. I also think that we're groomed that we shouldn't be doing that. We're groomed to like be kept down, right? And then I think we all have different brains. We're wired different ways for different reasons. And I feel like I've always been like, I have like a very active brain. And sometimes you're just dulled. You stay in this box. Like, don't move out of that box, because it might intimidate people. It might threaten people. And then also, like, if you step out of the box, some people get intimidated by that, and then they want to put you back in the box. And I'm a people pleaser. So for so long in my life, I was like, I got to chill myself out and put myself back in my box to make everybody else happy and comfortable. And then you go through stuff, and you're like, I'm going to be me, right? I'm going to go do me. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not ill will. I love everybody. That's half my problem. I love people, right? Like, I love people, but I don't know. It's just, I think society tells us we should stay here. And then the more you get out of here and you're okay with that, and you connect with people that are doing things here, you realize it's a way bigger world.
Yes.
And it took me to get out of my hometown to actually see that. Here is like it's like just the coolest experience to be in Tampa Bay area, just because it's like, there's so many like-minded people. You still have your box people, but you have a lot more like, hey, I came here for a better lifestyle. Like, I have this idea. You have like, it's just the coolest thing,
In Florida, like there's like a thing, you're like, on this, what is it called? It's like, you probably heard it, it's like on this day in Florida or something. It's like a whole thing, or like, they're just saying like, oh, the people in Florida are like a whole different country than the other parts of the United States.
Yeah.
And not like, it's kind of, I can't articulate it into words, but you just feel it when you're here versus then like in Michigan, where it's like, there's like a cloud over you all the time, and people are always watching and judging and like,
oh yeah,
what are you up to today? And it's like, people here don't give a fuck. They're just on their own page.
It's
in
crazy.
Passing, it's like, oh, what you got going on? Cool, man.
Even if they hear your juicy story, they don't care. They're like, they just like,
because there's more other shit going on.
Like, let's move on. Yeah, like life is great. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Or if you're going, I don't know, it's different for sure. Yeah, there it's more like, I see that, but I don't know. And it's just like
it resonates in me, obviously, because my significant other is what you just said. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
And I can see it.
But I think she feels that too. Like she feels like a difference between being in West Michigan, and then you guys left and went somewhere else,
North Carolina,
and then back.
Oh, I loved it.
But until you get out of it, you don't know there's a different world out there. Yes. I guess you know what I mean. And so I think even me as a mom, I'm like so excited for my kids because I'm like, oh, you guys are just like even their friends. Like they have friends from all different countries. This mom's from here, you know what I mean? So culturally, they're being exposed to like so many different worlds. And then like everybody just loves each other. No one cares how much money you make. I don't think everybody's ever what you do, whatever. It's not like status. Like there's some status stuff here, but like it's different, you know?
In Tampa, I was telling my buddy Sade, you briefly met my coworker Sade, and he was like, where are you at in Florida? I was like, I'm in Tampa. And I was kind of breaking him down because I went to school in Tallahassee.
That's a different world too. That's so different than Tampa.
That's what I was saying. Like even Miami's a different world. Orlando's different.
Oh yeah.
Tampa's different.
Yeah. The other side of Florida is different.
Exactly.
Like, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, all that's like way different world than here.
And even here is different than like, I explained it like Orlando is more like touristy. Like they have Disneyland, all those things. Like a lot of tourists go there. Tampa, I explained to him, is like a younger, like entrepreneurial type city. And then Miami's like the wealthier, like party scene kind of city. And then Tallahassee, North Florida, is just like kind of like the Miami kids just go there to fuck shit up, dude. Yeah. And it's just country.
Yeah, it's more country. Yeah, I was going to say it's more country-ish. Like
Okeechobee, Florida, like is country.
Yeah. And there's like middle of Florida. Yeah, there's like different parts. I always say like this is like where other parts of Florida I probably wouldn't care to live in. But I love it here because you have all that and you still have like that. People are still friendly, right? You know what I mean, and welcoming, and like I think people that live just in Tampa, like I think I'm 42, right? So like, you know, like there's a lot of influencers and people that are younger. So if I go on TikTok, a lot of times they're like, oh, Tampa, and then they're like, oh, it's so hard to meet friends, it's so hard to date, and I'm like, I think I'm coming at it at a different point in my life than them. So maybe in your 20s. And I live by the beach, you know what I mean? But I'm not concerned about that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's not like at the top of my list of why I'm here, you know? So.
Right. But it's hearing you say that, it's kind of weird that like, because I'm 30, which is not, I mean, it's kind of old. Like your kids, like I'm like classified as like, I'm like unk status now. When you get older, you're like, I'm like an unk.
Yeah.
So it's like
I'm
weird.
like ancient now.
You're like,
and I feel like I was like, oh yeah, I'm not cool anymore.
Yeah, you're like you're not Gramps, you're not grandma yet, that's for sure. Yeah. But just getting in the mindset of like a 20-year-old that's trying to be a 20-year-old in this day and age with the social media and everything. Like, I couldn't.
So I can see Tampa being more like at that age, you're probably like keeping up with the Joneses, a little different vibe. And if you're living in Tampa, but I guess, I'm just not in that stage of life.
No, and I'm not either. Like, I think it's all like your mindset too. Like I've done a lot of all that crazy stuff. So I'm not even, I was telling Becca, it's like, I just turned 30. So 30 to 40 is going to be, I think it's my working years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
parent, when you become a parent, like that was, I always say my 40s are like going to be my, like, hopefully my best decade, right? Like that's how I feel. But every decade comes with like good things. Yeah. But your 30s are kind of you're married, so you're like establish a family, start having your kids, like build yourself up more, right? Like build yourself
career
up where you
focused.
can.
I was never career. I was always just fun. Yeah. And like that was looking back, I was like, I'm so happy that I did that. Yeah. Because now I'm really comfortable with just working all day long. I don't like miss out on like invites or parties or whatever. It's like I've already experienced all that times 10.
Yeah.
Now I can just focus on work. But people that haven't gone through that experience, they hit it at a later age, and I feel like it could be worse. Like one of my clients, which he's comfortable with me saying, Paul Harrington. Paul, what's up, brother?
He's gonna trash you, Paul. I'm just kidding.
No.
Watch out, Paul. You might want to put Paul.
No, but he was the opposite. He was very career focused early on, made tons of money, and then when he turned 40, he got into like the partying and the drugs. Oh, yeah. So he had a really bad cocaine addiction at 40 years old. Oh, yeah. That destroyed his life. Yeah. And I'm like thinking about it. A lot of people, even like he has a podcast, and a lot of the people are like, damn, bro, you started this at 40? Yeah. Like, I'm so happy that I did all of that at a young age, because now 40 is like.
But why did he start it at 40? Did he go through something? Like, you wonder that.
He did go through, his mom passed away. And he had like...
Sorry, Paul, I'm not going to recognize you.
No.
Poor Paul. He's super... I don't know Paul, but...
Yeah, everything is out. Paul's a really great guy and comfortable with everything that happened. It's part of his story.
Yeah,
He understands that.
That's cool. Yeah.
But just bad business deals, and he was making so much money that like millions of dollars a month.
Yeah.
You get into that level of like,
it's like the root of all evils,
Yeah.
right? Like money can like given to the right person could be a blessing, and then give it to the wrong person and it can ruin your life, right?
Literally.
Like, yeah.
And I think about that too. If I were to come into a mass amounts of money like 10 years ago, I don't think I'd be sitting here today. I'd probably be in a coffin somewhere, or who knows what would have happened. I would not have been able to handle it.
Yeah, acquiring it in your younger years where you're very like self-focused, right? Like it's like, well, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna do this, it's all about me, right? And then before you have children and like, I don't know, you go through stages, right, in life. So, and then like you said too, I think people go backward staging, if that's even a thing.
It
like
is.
It's just like, I think of, you know, I have friends that had kids at a younger age, and they kind of did the same thing. They're like, okay, I was a responsible parent, then went through the partying lifestyle, or like I kind of did that like high school, college, right? And then when I had kids, I remember I couldn't wait to I had trouble getting pregnant. I was like, I just want to have a kid because I'm so sick of doing this. Like, I'm sick of going to the bar. I'm sick of like the same old, like, oh, I have another drink, do another kickstand. Like, who freaking, like, you get over it. It's just, and I've always been really career focused, but like, I like to have fun. But that, like, even I felt like in where I live, that's all people did to have fun because there wasn't much to do, you know? So I even think about here, I'm like, I don't have to go out and party. Like, I don't like to go out and party anymore, you know? So like, but I'm like, I can go on like, I can go to a game. I can do, we can like just travel to Orlando for the day. We can do
so many options.
Yeah. There's so much more fun. Just go to the beach, stay at the beach till late, go do, you know, whatever.
It's crazy.
But yeah, that point of like the bar star, like you're just like a forever bar star. We used to always say that.
Right.
Like,
and you can only, at a certain age, when you're pulling up to the bar and you're like, oh, what up?
Yeah.
You're like old. It's like, bro, what?
Yeah.
Chill out.
Like, that's still fun for you? Like, come on. You know, and you see that dwindle away. Like, I feel like you know, when you're in that environment, you know, these bar stars, and you see like slowly they start losing their friends because like, are they really friends?
They're not.
They're bar friends, right?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. Not saying they're not your friends, but like, I'm sorry, when you're drinking any amounts of alcohol, what it does to your brain, and like, I don't know, it just isn't, you're just hanging out with a like-minded person. And then if you clear from like not drinking and that lifestyle, you're not going to crave to go there anymore. So you're going to lose that friend, right?
Exactly.
I mean, maybe you keep in touch, but it's going to be, that friendship was built on partying. It wasn't built on like quality. I mean, we can all have drinks and be like, oh, I love you. You know, like you get very emotional, but the minute that alcohol goes away, like sometimes that's gone, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just a different, I don't know. That's
100%.
interesting.
And I've witnessed that myself. And that's probably why I'm like, don't really have too many friends, because everybody's just trying to do that. I'm just on a different page, man.
Yeah, but that's good. Like I think also surrounding yourself in environments where that is normalized, it like is never good for anything.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I've seen that in my own personal life, you know what I mean? And it was like, I think for me, it's just like, you kind of, oh, it's fun to go out and do this once in a while, but like, I don't even crave to be in that environment. It's almost aversive to me to like, oh, let's go get drunk again, whatever, you know? And then like, you just see like relationships being destroyed. You see like, you just never see like good. It's not, it might be fun once in a while, but it's not like good. Right.
Yeah. Now it's like, I'm at the age where it's, for one, the hangovers are too much.
Oh yeah.
And bad. Two is like, I have so much stuff to do the next day that I can't even afford.
Yeah.
I financially can't afford to lay in bed.
Yeah.
Being hungover. Just can't.
When I think like you do you kind of like do work that you love to do. I think there's another concept of waking up every day and like you're waking up and you're excited about what you're doing. And like even having kids, like I get excited about like, oh, my child has this going on, this, and like seeing them enjoy life. Like when that wakes you up in the morning versus like, oh, I can't wait to go down to the bar again and get like crunked up, man, you know?
Oh shit, Jenny's showing her age. She said crunked up.
Yeah, what is it? What do people say? Turn it up.
Turned up. Turn it up.
Yeah, I don't.
Which I'm envious about that. I'm ready for kids, I think. Just because it's like, for me, like I see my kids, they're going to be my best friends.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to do
and
all
you
the
love
things.
Kids. You're like so good with kids.
I'm
like,
good with them.
My boys like
reason.
love you and Becca. Like you guys will be, I feel like you two are both like so good with you guys are gonna have like the funnest freaking time with your kids.
Yeah.
Like you'll have the best family.
I'm excited actually.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys.
And like how you said though, like I can see myself getting excited for like, oh, we have practice today. Oh, let's go to practice. I'm gonna go kick the ball around and oh, we have this going on. Heck yeah, let's get up early.
It's cool.
I'm excited.
And I think it's like cool to like see your kids like grow into who they're meant to be. Like all the stages. So like even looking back at videos and stuff and you're like, it's just fun, right? It's like it's kind of like constant entertainment. Like
it literally is.
Like I'd rather do that. And then like when you bring your kids, like the boys and like we just started like, okay, we're gonna start traveling more. They're getting a little bit older. So like I brought them to we went to St. John's and I should know where I'm going, but because I went to St. Martin, which is I went there with Leonard. So St. John's and I can't think of the other. You fly to St. Thomas. Okay, so we went to St. Thomas and then we like did the boat over to St. John's and stuff. But just like seeing their excitement, I had never been there, but I get to experience that with them. But like they were just like, I like surprised them. I'm like, they didn't know where we were going.
Wow.
And then when they got there, like, oh, this is so cool. Because like it's like Disneyland, you know what I mean, for them, because it's like a new experience. And they're a little bit older now. So Disney's kind of like, and it's like in our backyard, so they don't get as excited. So it was cool. And then we had to drive on the wrong side of the road. You know what I mean? So I get to have those adventures with my kids and their excitement. And like, I mean, I'm excited about it too, but it's just the coolest experience to like experience it with them for the first time, you know? So it's cool. Yeah. It's very cool.
Can't wait. A lot of successful people that I've been studying and listening to is they always, when I say successful, I mean like these people have like successful businesses and they have good money.
Yeah.
They always talk about like, I wish I had my kids younger, like at a young age.
Yeah.
Do you think that you had it at a good age? Would you have switched it later or earlier?
I think it was perfect. I think God gives you those kids when you're meant to, you know, but I wouldn't say, no, I don't know. I mean, I had my first at 30.
Oh, that's like perfect.
I had trouble getting pregnant though. And that was like kind of devastating for me because it was like, I always wanted to be a mom. That was like my number one thing. So like as much as I was into my career and stuff, it was like, I just remember too, when I was having trouble getting pregnant, I was like, I worked with a lot of trauma. So I remember I had like 3 children with like child abuse, like brain injuries from child abuse on my caseload. And I was like, good Lord, everybody was getting pregnant around me. And I was just like, all right, good Lord, well, you're trying to tell me I'm not supposed to have kids. Like I'm just supposed to take care of everybody else's kids, right? And I remember like feeling that way. And I was like, okay, maybe that's just my destiny, you know, and then I ended up having kids. But I don't know. So I don't know. I wouldn't say I would ever say I wish I was younger or older. I think mine was kind of perfect timing, but I don't know. Because I got to develop my career. Like I feel like I was in my career long enough and I love what I do and I got to accomplish a lot of stuff before I had kids. And when I had kids, I was at that gravy point of I could still push myself in my career, but I could still be a mom. It wasn't new, you know, so that was
wasn't like one or the other. Yeah.
And I actually like ended up starting to teach right after I had Beckham. Like I got an opportunity to like be an adjunct professor. So I put new stuff on my plate and then I did some research. I had other opportunities come up, but I could still do that. And I think if I was 25, I wouldn't have been able to manage all that. So I think being a little bit older, I could manage being a mom, having a career and still like growing myself as a professional. And it was manageable, right? And then even financially in a better boat to like feel like I'm content enough or I can take care of my child financially.
Right. Which is the biggest thing I think for not just me, but like people that are having kids, it's like, fuck, can I support these kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, and I asked that question too, is because like you want to have kids and they want to get to an age to where you still have some youth that you can enjoy those trips and do stuff with them. You don't want to be like super rich and successful, but you can't even go jog around with the kid or go play sports or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So I definitely don't want to get to that
and you never know what's going to happen in life, right? Yeah. So like I think about my kids, they lost their dad, he was 44 years old. So like you know what I mean? I think about all the things he's going to miss out with them too. Like if you would have done this or done that, you know, like you can never like go back and say that. But I think after me having that experience, I was like, you know what, if my kids people are, you can't miss school for a day. I mean, I'm all about like kids going to school and having discipline and like structure and whatnot, but also you got to live a little bit. When we have family come down, like family's important. Family's more of a priority. Like God's more of a priority. Like spending quality time together. You have an experience you have an opportunity to go over and go to this different country. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to give my kids an experience over, and my kids do well in school for the most part. So it's like, I think I have hardworking kids that like will make up the work. I respect school, but you still got to live, right? You got to live instead of like, I think we get this like fear of like, oh, if I don't do this, and we're just like at the beck and call and anxiety about how we should do things and how not. And then you still got to live, right?
So, and then you get to a transitional period where it's like, fuck, I've been doing all that so long, but now I want to live. It's like, oh, is it too late? Am I too old? Do I have the finances? Like, and then you get stuck into another little thing. And I say this not out of personal experience, just people that I've seen and I've came in contact with.
People want to plan out their lives, man. It's just like, I wasn't able to do that. I did that for so long. And then like, I couldn't do it. Like I had a huge part where I couldn't plan anything out, or I say plan just like it literally I think about that when, you think about it, I was married, had kids, had this whole like, oh, we're going to do this and retire here and do all this. And that blew up in my face like big time. And then it was like, holy, this is like crazy. Right. So I always say, I always have a loose plan now. Like obviously I'm not going to like rapidly spend through my money so my kids can't eat. I'm not like, hey, let's just go on like a, a tour.
As much as that would sound
obviously,
so
like I'm building something too that like, I think about my kids' future. I think about, I'm going to have to pay for college. Like I'm doing this on my own now. So it's just like, you think about the way I do parent different. Like I'm like, okay, I'm mom and dad. You know what I mean? Like, so I do plan things so my kids aren't going to be without one. I'm not going to be stuck like, at a pit, like, sorry kids, we had a lot of fun for the last couple of years, but now we're living in a tent in a field. I don't know.
Right.
But like, also like let life just happen, right? And then still, like, if you feel like you want to go do something, go do something. And you could bring your baby with you, Like exactly. I think of just because you have kids, I think the best thing you could do for your kid is
bring them with you.
Show them like come with us. Like, hey, I can do this.
I'll show you what work looks like, and I'll,
And I will tell you, my kids are like a testament to that because they see me do a lot, right? But we still go have fun and do this, and then like I bring them with me, and like they go do this. So I just think I see them like being able to handle a lot and have a lot on their plate at a younger age.
So and
then when they talk about their dreams and what they want to do when they get older, it's like fill my plate up with 100 things already, and they're already thinking that way.
Yeah.
And they also like, oh, I want to live here. I want to do this, and like they're dreamer. They should dream right now. That's the coolest part of giving your kids something to work for. And I love that because I was like, that's freaking cool. Like you can foster that and show them different things.
Yeah.
But if you keep them in the box, like you just have to go to school and you can do that when you make this much money. What if you never make that much money?
Right.
What if you slaved over to get there and then something bad happened to you? Now you can't go on that trip, So it's like finding that balance of living and like being responsible. Right?
You don't want to come to school and you're like, hey, what'd you guys do? And then the kid's like, did all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Did you do any homework? No.
Yeah. And there's some things I think, like, even when we moved here, like we had a lot of people come visit and they're like, oh, we're here and then. I was just like, oh, sure, we'll go. I was just like, okay. Finally, I'm like at this point where I'm like, okay, we got to like chill it out a little bit. We're having a lot of fun, but we can still have a lot of fun, but we need to be a little bit more disciplined, and we're like, get yourself on a different schedule. And
but it's huge that they get to watch you do it because, again, I've been studying and learning. I've never really, like, when I was in school, didn't give a shit about learning. I just wanted to, like, go play sports or go hang out. Now that I'm getting older, I'm, like, addicted to, like, learning and figuring stuff out. Yeah. So I've seen, like, a lot of the successful people, they talk about their success and, like, how did you do it? It's because I witnessed my parents do it. That's where it all starts. Yeah. Is they saw their parents do it.
Yes. We model our parents like no other.
It's
I
crazy.
had great parents. My parents were like, my mom went back to school when I was younger. Like all three of us girls were younger. She went back and got her master's degree, did what she wanted to do. And I honestly look back and I'm like, as monotonous as my parents were, and my dad is very rigid. Like, you do this, you do it this way. My dad liked to keep control and like order in the house, right? Which not a bad thing. That's like all women, right?
Was he in the military?
No, he wasn't. He was a police officer though. But I look at, and he grew up though with parents that moved around. So he didn't like that. That wasn't a good experience for him. So it was interesting to see him kind of want just like the same, just keep everything consistent, right? And then see my mom do that. Like I look now and I'm like, wired a lot like my mom. And I'm like, okay, like to me that was like, she made it look like easy as crap, you know what I mean? There's no way that was easy, but she was doing what she wanted to do. And she did it when she had young kids. So like for me, it was like, that's kind of an inspiration when you think about that. It was modeled for me. And then I grew up too, like, oh, you get straight, like I had real good grades growing up. You can do honors classes, straight A's, play sports. Oh, you want a car, you will work for it, right? So I never had that ability to just, I always was just like, oh, fill your plate, whatever. So like, I think the way you are parented, the modeling of it, and then there would be things that you do different too.
Of course.
Because I never got to see the world. I never got to travel. Like some of that stuff.
You want to do some things that you didn't get to experience.
Yeah, and it's not stuff my parents cared to do, which is fine, you know, but also like that's stuff I want to do. So I want to expose my kids to that because I kind of look at it as like, I want my kids to see where they want to live. I don't want to tell them where they should live, you know, and I want them to like explore, you know, I have one kid that loves sports, one kid that's more artsy, very creative. And I'm trying to like, I try him in different things, but he still doesn't have the passion for it. So like finding his passion
and keep trying,
fostering who he is. So like, I think just exposing and teaching them to live and like be true to themselves and like be confident with yourself. Like, you know, but.
Yeah. I mean, from the outside looking in, obviously we don't understand anything, but it looks like the kids are having a great time. They enjoy life.
Yeah.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah. They have fun. They live their best life. But they both have good at it. Like they're just positive people, but
they're good. They're good kids.
They're really good kids. Like I'm super freaking lucky and they're fun.
Yeah.
You know, like I say that too. For like, oh, how do you have kids? I'm like, my kids are probably the easiest kids.
And they're
even since babies.
You could give your kids like your credit card and go to the store and they won't max it out.
No.
Like, those are good kids.
Yeah. They have a lot of respect for me. Like I will say that, like they're very respectful towards really any adult.
They are.
You know? So yeah, I feel like I have great kids, you know, and it's.
Yeah. Hopefully I have some good kids too. One more thing.
For now, I should expect so.
Yeah, right.
Because Beckham's in middle school now, right? So he's still so
kissing
good.
girls at recess.
Yeah, yep, kissing girls at recess, getting in trouble. But it's funny because I think he reminds me a lot of myself when I was his age. He's like an overachiever, whatever. But he still like likes to push his boundaries a little bit. But he's a little bit better than me. Like I know he hates getting in trouble. I don't think I really cared if I got in trouble. I would push my boundaries more, but I know him so well that he'll act like he's naughty. Well, I did something bad, but I was like, you freaking didn't do that.
Right.
You didn't do that, dude. You don't even have it in you to do it.
Which is kind of cool.
It doesn't change, right? Yeah.
He's kind of cool.
Yeah. He's a good kid. And he doesn't, he wants to be good.
Yeah.
You know, and
which is good.
I love that about him.
And I think the area too, like, obviously the environment plays a role into your decision-making and activities that you decide to partake in.
Yeah.
And this is just a good environment.
Yeah.
It seems like. That's what I tell Becca. I want to raise like one of my kids like in like a mountain town. Just because I've seen
the mountains are cool too.
Like
that's like my new fun thing too. I'm like, oh, we got to go back and do the mountains. You know what I mean? Like it's cool.
Something, and those kids, dude,
like be one with the earth, like climb rocks, like dig in the. That's like, that is how kids should grow. Like I feel like that's how kids should play in general, right? Like, but I even see my boys this summer at Zion, like going to a rock park, and I love to climb too. And we're like climbing all these rock structures, and like they were like kids, and kids like have so much pressure to like, oh, be on social media, do this and do that. And my kids like love that stuff too, but like just you see the innocence in a child still, like even at their ages. Of like, man, that's so cool. Yeah. Like you said,
especially
too, like,
your youngest one.
Like don't expose your kids to all that. I always call it like junk, you know, the more you can keep them out in nature and like, just like, I don't know, you just develop their brain differently that way too, you know? So
and something about like those mountain kids that are in the like, they're like, I can't really explain it. Just like the confidence that they have. Cause like in snow sports, unlike like a basketball, like snowboarding specifically. Basketball, if it's like a guy versus a kid, whoever's taller is going to win the game.
Yeah.
And like a snowboarding sport, none of that shit matters. Size, age, none of it matters. It's just like your skill level and what you can do.
Yeah.
So like when these little kids are riding the big mountain and they're better than the adults, they just carry that confidence off the mountain too. Yeah. So they're walking around like, some of them think they're hot shit, which could be a problem too. Yeah. But it's just like the confidence that they have, like they travel on public buses and go from store to store and they get out of school and they all go skateboarding down the road or something. Yeah.
It's like old school lifestyle, right? Like, like how we probably all hung out when we were younger. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I saw that in the kids and in the parents, and their quality of life is just so good.
Yeah. I even think like beach life, like where we live too. I mean, like, you know, you can get on your scooter and go down the beach, and like you said, the e-bikes are big because like you see a bunch of kids like riding e-bikes, but they're like riding them on the beach, and then like, it's just different. Like and they can be outside more too, right? But it's just different than
which you got a
West Michigan, like
big decision to make about that e-bike.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing too, is like I said, like I don't
like, how do you navigate
as many
that?
brain injuries as I've worked with in my lifetime. I'm like totally like, hey, until I don't fear that like that's always going to happen to my kid, but also I think the e-bike thing is more the people on the road, and that you have like a younger child who their brain, I know too much about brain development to know that you are not ready to even know what could happen. You're not future oriented.
So it's not a financial decision.
It's not even it's more, absolutely not. It's just more like for me, it's more my parenting decision of like, you cannot make a decision for yourself, and you're going to like Beckham broke his arm on the e-scooter. You know, like dumb mistake, random stuff. That just happens. It happens to adults even, right? But we're going to think a little bit more about how we go about stuff. Until something bad happens to a kid, they're just going to go balls to the wall. They don't understand what could happen. They're not future oriented thinkers yet, right?
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about.
Well, I'm like all about my development. You know, like I think I know kids enough, and then then you have the old people driving have lost their shit too.
Dude,
you know? So
and you're in Florida. So
and you get people from all over, like tourists, people from different countries. Like, it's just like, I know if he got an e-bike, where he'd be riding it. You wouldn't be riding it on the sidewalk. You wouldn't be riding it on a trail.
Interesting.
And then you're at the age where you're going to push your boundaries. You're going to be with your friends. And I understand that's normal. Like, you can't prevent a kid from doing that. But until you like, my whole thought is like, okay, maybe when you turned driving age and you know the rules of the road and your brain's a little bit more developed, but I don't know. It's one of those things. Like I'm not one of those parents that ever feels bad because my kids live a beautiful life, and I never feel bad for saying no because I know it's what's best for them. I never get that guilt or like, oh, I feel bad because that was a beautiful presentation. I was like, that's great. That was pretty awesome, right? But cool. Put that to, like, he always says he wants to be a lawyer. So I was like, see it right there. Don't you see that right there? Like, that presentation was a beautiful thing. Like, I don't know. But I would get my kids dirt bikes. This is the other thing I told them. I said, at some point, we're so busy right now, but like, you can buy land in the middle of Florida. So if we had like land and we could buy and leave dirt bikes there, because my sister has dirt bikes. I don't care if you get on a dirt bike and ride on a dirt bike track or in a field or whatever. That doesn't bother me because you don't have the other people on the road.
Right.
That's the part that I think is, and I think they're actually they're going to change ruling in Florida, where I think they are going to make the child have to be older to ride e-bikes because there's so many accidents. It's like the number one thing that they're seeing in the ER, the scooter and the bike. So, I mean, my kid, I let them do the scooter. Still not the best, but I know, I'm not saying they never go on the road, but those bikes are just a little crazier. They go a lot faster. And then too, like those scooters, they die real quick. So like, you got about an hour on it.
Yeah. Like, they'll be back soon.
You'll be back. And then, or you can pedal back because the battery dies. So then you can only go like 2 miles an hour.
Push back.
Yeah.
That's
get that exercise.
Yeah. Cause even like, obviously I don't have kids, so hearing you say that now, it makes so much sense. Like your thought process behind that thing. Cause I was like, I don't know. It's not my kid. So I'm just thinking like, oh, like, I don't think about the dangers and all of those things.
And I like no judgment if parents let their kids have it. Like, I think we all parent different for different reasons. And like, I'm not like one of those people like, oh, it's terrible that their parent let them do that. Like, no, not at all. Because people probably look at me like, well, you let your kids do this and do that. Like, we all have to make our decisions on what's best for our kids. So, and I think, I mean, I have pretty responsible kids, but still they're young.
Right.
And I could never live with myself if something happened knowing that like I'm just not feeling they're ready for it, you know, like with all those factors in there.
That's the part I didn't take into consideration either.
Oh yeah, I always leave with that more like what's best for them versus like, I always say I'm not trying to like, my parents used to say that to me too, like they're not doing it in spite of you, they're doing it to like, because they're your parent, right? Like,
because they just care and they love you.
And if I let him do whatever they wanted, knowing that they didn't really have the decision-making capability at that age,
that'd be bad on
it would be bad, right? Yeah. And then you're also teaching your kid that like, there's no authority. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. And then like, if you just beg me for it and manipulate your situation to get what you want, and I give into that, I'm teaching you really bad behavior. Also too, right? Like, you're going to make someone feel guilty. What do you think that kid's going to do over time? And then they go get a job someday. Right. You know what I mean?
It translates.
So if you know anybody that would be interested or that would be a good guest for the podcast show, please get us in contact, put us together, or just relay them my information. I would love to sit down and talk to them. And with that, I will continue to do my best to improve my podcasting skills and my interviewing skills to one day bring on bigger guests that you would love to see me collab with.
But it's funny what you said is like, at least for me, because I was not a good kid growing up. I was always pushing the boundaries. And like, I was like, damn, my parents are always on me. They're always trying to tell me what to do. And now that I get older, it's like, my dad just was trying to look out for me.
Yeah. Dude. I did that too. And I don't think that makes you a bad kid. I think that's every kid.
Well, I was a bad kid.
Well, you could be doing bad stuff, but it doesn't, I don't look at that as being a bad kid. It's just, it's actually natural, right? You might probably have more risk-taking behavior than other kids. Right? But like, are you really a bad kid? I don't think any kid's a bad kid. Yeah. So I get like, even some of the kids I work with, like the kids with like the sensory stuff, they come in and they feel like so defeated. And I'm like, it's kind of natural to like want to do this and do that and do that. You might do bad things, but are you a bad kid? And then if people keep telling you you're a bad kid, what are you going to do? You're going to keep being a bad kid. You're going to do worse things. And then that can carry over into adult life. Wow. You know what I mean? So I don't ever think you weren't born bad, you know what I mean? Right. And then sometimes your situations will shape your behavior, like and environment too. Exactly. I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, like. Well, for sure. So survival, right? Like there's certain survival stuff, or like, I'm sure, like even I'm thinking of like Leonard, like he grew up in the projects in New Orleans, right? Like in New Orleans. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like project, like straight projects, like people were like, he would have fight. He's like, you just had to fight, or you just. A lot of times he would stay inside because he tried to avoid drugs everywhere. Like, you know, like the stories he tells me, I'm like, okay, so you take a little kid who, you know, the biggest thing that you can give a kid is like safety, security, roof over their head, make sure they're fed, love them, and then keep them in a safe environment and they'll do great, right? But you put a kid in a environment where they have to fight, you're in fight or flight more than you're not, you're gonna have behavior. You're gonna have like things, it's not the kid's fault. It's biologically like what the brain will do to survive, right? So there's, I did my research in childhood trauma and how it affects the developing brain, and there's like, great. Yeah, but it's great stuff, and it's so true, right? Like I've seen kids that have had like pretty bad stuff happen to them, and just even doing the research, it's like pretty gruesome stories. And then what the kid's behavior is after, they're reacting, or they've been taught something, or if you are, as your brain's developing and this is all you see, that's your normal. Right. That's all you know is normal, right? And then I've even seen, I've seen some bad stuff, but I remember one case where a kid was like locked in the closet for years. And like, I think they'd let him out occasionally. And I remember he was so bad that he came to rehab after. And I remember walking him, he was like an animal. Like I remember him walking by food, and he would like lunge and just because that's a kid that wasn't fed all the time. And he was trying to get his basic needs met, and he acted like an animal. Like he didn't have developed language. Right now, just thinking about that. It's crazy though. So like you just got to think about even how you grow up and the environment that you grow up in. It can have potential to it's going to shape your behavior as a kid. And if it continues and you don't get and if you keep thinking you're bad, and then I don't know. I just have seen a lot as in my own life and just even in my career to like really, I look at it so differently of like I get parents telling me, oh, my kid's bad, they're getting in trouble at school. Like, and that kid comes in just like so defeated. Like someone else to see, some other professional to see me, something's wrong with me, you know? And I'm like, nothing's wrong with you. Your brain's wired this way. So like I look at it differently. And then you give these kids tools and you're doing it through fun and play. And like, this is, you like empower them. And then you change their parents like, no, your kid's doing this because of this, this, and this. And you can see a change in the parent and the kid. And that kid's behavior is gonna improve because they feel no longer like they're like the worst kid on the earth. And now they have a coping skill. Oh, now I get why I keep hitting my friend at school all the time because I just really need to go and have a break and move my body. But when I don't, I get really agitated. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I just think there's teaching them of why they do certain things too, and then giving them an appropriate tool or something. But
I think because you're educated, that makes sense. I feel like a lot of parents aren't educated like that. So like,
they don't work in that field, right? Yeah.
So like you're helping the kids out and you're also kind of helping the parent out.
Yeah. I think I help the parent to look at their kid differently. Yeah. Even any kid that walks in here, like, because I see potential in every kid. They can come in like not move, even hold their head up. And I know there's more potential in that kid, right? So, and I think now I'm in like a place where I really can help that kid because I'm not restricted by insurances and stuff. So like I get so excited and like just even giving, you look at that kid differently and then just like giving those parents hope too. Cause sometimes they come in and they're like, even after like a brain injury, I think about that. Like I remember when I worked in the inpatient hospital, I had this like position where I worked in and outpatient. And I remember like, that was kind of cool because kids are just coming out of comas and then parents are just like, what to do? And no one's really teaching them about brain injury. And I'm like, the kid's like agitated, swearing, and you're like, that's a great sign. And they're like, what's going on, my kid? And I was like, this is a good sign because it means that this is happening. It's like good sign of brain activity. And this is a normal process after a brain injury and stuff. And so like, sometimes I think parents are so in the dark and we just expect that they know what's going on.
Right.
So being with them and just like seeing things in their kids and being like, this is a good sign for this. But also being real with them of like, there's some parents that you're like, yeah, I mean, I think your kid will do this, but like, you're not always guaranteed to like get a full recovery. But you can also teach them about like, how can your kid live like more independent differently?
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It doesn't mean they can't do anything. You just have to rethink how they're living and rethink kind of what are your goals for, you know what I mean? Yeah. So
is there, I know you said, is there, I'm sure there is, but like in your experience, is there like a point where it's like, there is nothing you can do?
Nope. Never seen it. I mean, you'll be told that, right? But like, I don't think I'm that person. I always like, majority of my career, I worked in outpatient therapy, but I like the last line.
What is outpatient?
Outpatient. So you kind of transition. So after an accident, you'll have like, you go to acute care, then they'll transfer you to an inpatient rehab unit, which you're there, you're like living there, tons of therapy, really good. Kids are waking up from comas. You're getting them like more independent with like their living skills, getting them safe to go home. And then they have outpatient. So it's like I always say it's the last line of rehab. So that's like where you'll see those kids for years, really. Like they'll take breaks in between. But I would say, you know, before when I first started, they'd be like, oh, after a year and a half to 2 years, whatever this kid get, this is where they're going to be. Well, we know that's not true now. And so, you know, there's neuroplasticity. So we can still make new motor pathways and we can use different tools to like really get the child's function up and get their arm moving again or whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things that.
And it has to be pretty crazy. Like, this is like just for the audio and visual in my head, like a kid coming in, they can't move their arm or something.
Oh, yeah.
And then 2 years later, they're wailing around.
Yeah.
It has to be a great feeling.
Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm like so geeky like that, but it's like, I mean, I used to see it where I was at before, you know, but then I think the coolest thing is like, we as clinicians too have like evolved because I think before we were kind of like, yeah, it's kind of what they're going to get. But then you would keep trying stuff. But the rehab model has changed a lot. So like you would get restricted by insurance companies. So it's like, oh, I know I can do more with this kid, but now we ran out of visits. Sorry, come back next year. And then like the intensity is not there to really regain those motor pathways. So when I opened this intensive clinic, I mean, sometimes I was like, who the hell did that? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like kids would come and they're coming 3 hours a day, 2 weeks. And it's not that I didn't know they would make quick, rapid gains, but like I get a lot of kids that have a lot going on and like just like 7 years post brain injury, you know, so they're not supposed to make all this rapid progress. And in 2 weeks, I'm seeing these like huge gains, but it's proper intervention. It's intensive intervention. And then like they maintain that, like that's cool. That means there's new motor mapping in the brain. So, but sometimes, yeah, it's not that I didn't know that, but I didn't know that, if that makes sense. You have to like, because not everybody, like this is kind of a new thing. Intensives are kind of a new thing.
Right. And I can imagine having the confidence in yourself to know like what I'm doing is not like gonna work, but gonna have improvements and benefits.
Yeah.
Did you ever think like, I went through like a phase, like imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah.
Like, and what am I doing? Is it really working? Like,
oh yeah, I'm way past that.
Yeah.
I've been there before though. Like you think you're like, oh, I heard it was going to work. I went to this course this weekend. I think this is going to work.
Yeah. Or when you first started.
Try it. Yeah. Oh, when I first started,
people are coming in to see you. Like,
oh, I am.
Are they
like,
really coming to see me for what I know?
Oh yeah. Like I remember being a couple years out of school, and I was in this day rehab program, and I was like, felt same thing. Like I have all this stuff coming at me, and I'm one of those people that will like figure it out. Like I always want to know more, find more, learn more. So I had the confidence in myself to know I could help that kid, but I also knew that I didn't have experience yet, right? So enough to like be where a lot of my colleagues were that were more advanced, and like I saw them practice and they're amazing, right? And so you knew you weren't there yet, but you had that resource too. But yeah, no, so definitely. And then you have these parents coming to you, and like I remember when I first started that program, I had a 3-year-old child that had a spinal cord injury. She was a paraplegic. And I had a 4-year-old, like antler occipital dislocation. So it's like the highest level spinal cord injury you could ever have. Oof. She was like in a halo and all that stuff. And I was like, who's going to do that? Like, like, what do I do?
Right.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
You know,
though.
and it's not that I didn't know what to do. I wasn't confident. You know, I was like, and I didn't know if it was going to work. So I was going to try it. And if it worked, it worked. And that's, as a therapist, as a clinician, that's how you get better, right? But if you're too scared to go outside of the box and learn more and try more and do more, you're never going to be a good clinician. You're not going to get to the level that you need to be to help some of these really kids with a lot of involvement, right?
Yeah.
So,
wow, that's very interesting.
And I love to learn too. So I'm just like, give me more, and I think of more, and then I think outside of that because I have the population I can do that with. So it's been really cool for me. Because I like a new challenge, but you're like, what other courses can I go to, right?
Yeah,
like, there's not much out there, but you have to create it now. You know, now you're,
which is awesome and kind of crazy. Yeah. Like, do you ever think, like, what if you try something new and you set the kid backwards, or you injure them or hurt them? Is that ever a thought?
Yeah, I think I have enough experience. I don't know. I never feel that way anymore because it's like the weirdest place to be in my career, and I don't know why, but it's just like kids will come in and I'm like, like even watching the movie, I'm like, oh, this would help them, this whatever. And there's times when I'm working with it, you see it work, or you're like, oh, I could probably add. Oh, then I see this happening, I could add this piece in. So that's where I'm at clinically, is why like I feel, and I get a lot of hard cases through here where like people, they're exhausted with like, we've seen this, we've gone here, and we just, no one else is. I know my kid has more potential in me, but like, can you maybe figure them out, right?
It's a lot of pressure too, kind of on you.
I love it though. Yeah. I wouldn't even say it's pressure. I just like, I know I can help your kid differently, right? And then if I can't, I probably know someone that could help them even more, you know? So I think it's a really cool place to be. And I'm very like, I feel very blessed that I'm in that boat, but I always say I've done a lot of work to get there.
Yeah,
and I've seen a lot of, where I worked, it was a lot of stuff thrown at me that I was not comfortable with. And I had to get comfortable. And then I had a lot of good mentors, and I had an amazing place where I worked. Tons of technology, tons of continuing education. Yeah. But you have to know how to apply that too. You can go to all the courses in the world and never use it.
Right.
And then I have the desire to know more, or to like really help that person. So you're like, oh, what if we try, and I don't know.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And hearing you say that now, again, I'm on the outside looking in. So like it's like a basketball player going to take a free throw. Like he's not worried about it because he's done it. He has the experience and he's done
it's
it so many
it's
times.
like motor memory, right?
Right. It was like me like setting
all
up
natural.
this camera. To you, it could be like, oh, how am I going to set up the camera? Like me, I'm going through it. So it's the same thing for you, I guess.
Yeah, it's like automatic.
Right.
And so when I work with kids, people will be like, oh, how are you? Like, I think you were asking me questions yesterday and I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, I just get in my zone. And so when a kid comes in, I'll be like working with them. And I also am like really big on kids being intrinsically motivated. I'm not going to force you through, like, I'm going to do it different too. So like if a kid's like fighting me on something, but I want them to like activate certain muscles, I'll like change up what we're doing, how we're doing it, right? And I kind of think it's like I have all my tools and it's just like, I just get in my zone and I work, right? And then it's a beautiful thing and it's more natural. So these kids, I think, do better in that environment too, because they're like, this is playful, this is fun. Or sometimes the kids get tired, like they work hard. So it's like, okay, we're kind of done doing this, we'll go to something else. But I don't know, it's just a cool place to be because I feel, before where I worked, it was like, I got to that, you feel like you're at that level of practice, but you don't have the time now. You have like a limited time. So you're trying to get through all these things will help this kid. And then your time's up. And then you got to go to the next kid, which might have a totally different diagnosis. And you're just like so focused on getting your time in, get your notes done, all that you lose that like the beauty of being a therapist. Like I think like kids come in, I'm like, I have 3 hours and I can just go and like help them. And that's what's leading me. It's not like, oh, I need to be productive and I need to do like that no longer is in my mindset, right? Like, and it's crazy how that opens up your brain to like help these kids more. Like it's.
Yeah. Because in the hospital, I could be wrong again. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's like a number, it's like a statistic, like a number, like they're trying to get, I assume that the hospital is trying to increase their money, their profit. So they're just trying to take in as many kids as they can.
Yeah.
And, if we only get 30 minutes with this kid, it is what it is. Bring in the next kid. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what it is like the system's set up like there's contracts with insurance companies. Hospitals have to stay afloat. A lot of them take Medicare, Medicaid, reimbursement rates different. So you have all this overhead. You have facility fees. I mean, even this, like I have a clinic, right? So my fees are based on me being able to pay myself. Like you know what I mean? It's being able to maintain this building and then all the other things that go into it. If I was doing intensive therapy at someone's house and I didn't have a facility, it would be different because I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not like therapists aren't business people, but like business-wise, you have to look at a hospital system, man. Those people are like, they're paying their clinicians while some of those positions are not money-making positions. So your money-making positions, AKA therapists at a rehab hospital, that's like your huge money-making position, right? Your doctors, your nurses, and your therapists, they have to drive your productivity. Otherwise, you can't pay those other people. You know what I mean? So you're at the beck and call of like also insurance companies. Well, we're only going to give you this much. And then they'll like 6 months later say, oh, just kidding. We're not going to reimburse you. We didn't think that was highly skilled. So there's a lot of like, I don't know, it becomes a business. It becomes a huge business. This is a business, but if I stay small and I don't take insurance and I operate without all that crap of like, I couldn't function that way. I'd go under if I did that. If I took insurance, I'd go under because they wouldn't reimburse and then might take 6 months to pay. Like right now in Florida, there's a big thing going on with like the Medicaid system is just not paid certain therapy places their money, or it's like way delayed. And it's like, as a clinician and a clinic owner, you started this like thing to help people, and now you might not be able to pay your bills. Like that's kind of sad, I think that's.
And you're a great talker. It's funny I mentioned Paul earlier, but I had a call with him today, and I was telling him like, you're a podcaster, bro. And he didn't know that until he started doing it. Yeah. He's just so good at speaking. Like maybe like this could be your format that you just feel the most comfortable with.
Yeah. No, I think so. I already knew that about myself. I was like, I think me just like. Once I get into conversation, like, and then I think it just like flows and you can go from here and there, but it's like, I love to talk. I'm like a really love to get in depth with stuff.
Yeah, me too. Is there anything we missed that you would like to touch on? We could probably save it for your podcast.
Huh?
We can save like
Oh yeah.
yeah for your podcast too.
Well, some of that stuff you could probably like. I was like, oh, I think we talked about stuff we didn't intend to. That's
right.
Right. That would be.
Yeah, we'll just wrap it. Thank you guys for watching the Kicking with Keener podcast. See you guys next Tuesday.